And welcome back to another Odd Man Out. This week we have James
Hello.
And me, Harrison. We are going to try to convince Faust here
to play
Halo Reach.
I'll have to admit right at the start here, guys, that you have a uphill battle.
Well,
I've been turned off of the Halo series since 2, and I've only know very tangential information about Reach as far as it's mentioned in the canon.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Why have you been turned off since Halo 2?
2 was the first start of, like, this, I don't know, it was sort of the Halo game. Like, Combat Evolved, the first original Halo, felt like it was its own thing in this original sort of thing. And usually, if you release a sequel to something like that, it's supposed to be a jumping off point, treating the first game as a proof of concept and then building upon that. And I don't feel like they built upon anything from the first game with the second game.
Okay.
And then it basically made me put down the second game like after the first couple of levels and not really be interested in what's going on with it. And then the third game came out and I was like, wait, that's how the second game ends? Well, I'm glad I skipped it. And then the third game just seemed like it was just more not developing from the original formula. It was just sticking to the same formula, sticking to the guns over and over and over again. And aside from playing some multiplayer with people and doing some death matches that weren't really more than just, it could have been any shooter. I wasn't exactly enamored with anything in the series from that point onward. Now, I do hear that specifically Reach and ODST were variations on the formula.
Yes.
Yes. And so I do have to ask, the standard questions here are, is Master Chief involved in Reach?
No.
No. Okay. But it's still the same kind of like Spartan armor, rechargeable shield, to carry 2 weapons, throw grenades.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are the weapons the same basic weapon types as you see in like Combat Evolved and 2 and stuff? So you have the sniper rifle and the battle rifle and the assault rifle and the pistol and that one thing that just takes down shields that you never really use unless it's multiplayer. And
yes. But there's also vehicles, more than just warthogs.
More than just warthogs and ghosts and banshees and
well, yeah, you have that stuff. You have some cannon turrets. You have a couple of rocket launchers. But really, why you play it is more so. This one's more so for the story.
Yeah, because it goes in. It's a prequel to the first game.
So, before you get going into a big old synopsis, I will say what I understand of Reach is that it was this big initial battle between the Covenant and the human race. And they're basically vying, at this point they start vying for being the dominant species in the universe, essentially. According to Covenant religion.
Yes.
Okay. And that Reach was this major thing that happened that became sort of a Remember the Alamo kind of thing for the rest of the series.
Yes, it was like the first big invasion by the Covenant, and it was on the planet Reach. Where basically it left the entire planet in ruins. The premise behind the story is you start as Noble 6. You are a Spartan from the initial Spartan program, and you're running with a team of about 5 other Spartans. And basically, you're starting to get invaded, and you and the fleet and what's there starts to try to fight back against the Covenant and find out quickly that you are basically been blitzkrieged and you are stranded.
There's no hope of...
There's no hope. You're basically, it's going to be, what can you do to try to quell this and get off the information that you need to off the planet, and save who you can. But it focuses around Noble 6 and this group of Spartans. And what's interesting about this story is while everybody's unique in their own way, have their own personality, they all die.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
I will say that has been spoiled for me. I do remember hearing and seeing enough of Reach to know that you don't make it off the planet.
No.
And that it has this very infamous final assault where you basically just try to survive as long as possible, and when you die, that's it, game over.
Yes.
And there's no end. It just keeps spawning enemies over and over and over again until your resources run out and you basically just get killed.
Yes. And it's it's basically just, it's a last stand battle, and you slowly watch, slowly watch everyone around you die that have been built up character-wise. And there's some really good characters in here that have been built up, too, throughout the story.
So they all have arcs, and you sort of like get to know them and then watch them die off one by one.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, no, they all die at the same time, don't they, at the end?
At the end, I think you're watching them all because they all run out of resources, so they all end up dying eventually. You know, there may be a little bit earlier on in it, if I recall, but the thing is, basically, it's the entire team is
Dead.
falling at the end, and it's all just to try to get try to stave off the covenants for the rest of the human race. But
so it really ties into the mythos, into the canon, like
yes,
richly, and it establishes its own kind of sub canon sort of thing.
correct.
And you get to see the fall of Reach from this perspective.
Yes.
What I want to ask is, does this game stand up if you have never played any other Halo game? Would it stand up as a standalone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 All right. And of course it has the required multiplayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also has the required co-op,
Yeah.
so you can actually go through play this game co-op.
How many players co-op?
Up to 4, I think.
I think up to 4, yeah. I think on the console it's typically best to do 2 on the same screen. I think you can do more online. I think
Oh, it does split screen.
it does split
That's
screen.
always great if a game does split screen. I know it's not exactly very required or it's not very desired
Yeah.
in this day and age because people want to use their big old TV screens and not have that kind of divided or anything.
Exactly.
But it still makes me feel like kind of like they're respecting where they came from, and it's no big deal, I don't think, to add split screen into something like that.
Yeah, it's one of the games also where you could do split screen multiplayer online. So you can go do the multiplayer online. You and a buddy can sit on the same couch and you split screen, and you're obviously on the same team, but you know you can at least still go play online with somebody on your couch and have fun yelling at them or helping each other out.
And the fact that it just fills in a lot of stuff is really good.
All right,
Story-wise.
Reach is a planet. You said it's Planet Reach.
It is Planet, yes.
So I'm assuming that all of the levels are nice and varied. Or is it just basically in a forest? Forest A, Forest B, sewer level, shiny alien monument.
Oh, look, yeah, here's kind of. I mean, you have day and night, and yes, you have on a planet, and yes, you have different ways you have to go sometimes on the maps and everything, but it is still very much, you know, what can you do with a planet? You know, yes, you're going to have mountains. Yes, you're going to have valleys. Yes, you're going to be fighting inside big complexes, but that's any game. You know, you're going to be stuck inside things.
And the thing that, unfortunately, I've been noticing about a lot of games that started about the time, even probably before Reach came out, was that these games in general are just very well decorated corridors. Which might have some sort of variation on it. It's very, very, very obvious with like the Mass Effect series. We won't get started on that rant. But if you can play through this game and not feel like you're just in a level wandering down a corridor trying to get to the exit button, as it were.
Oh, no.
No? Yeah.
You don't feel like you're just wandering down a corridor.
No, because some of those levels are hard. Like the last battle, that is
Intense.
Pain. It is intense.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, here's a rocket launcher, kill it. No.
So how about
It's hard.
How about variations in play styles? Is it going to be, because that was another problem I had, was basically it was always the same thing. You wanted to carry that assault rifle and then just use whatever weapon drops from the enemy.
No, there's a sniper level that takes place at night where you're supposed to try to be semi-stealthy.
Oh.
You have other soldiers, AI that interact, so you get in the middle of big old firefights. So you feel more so than it's just you being the hero.
And this is the start of the Spartan thing. So it's not the ODST where you have like different abilities that you switch out, or
ODST is you're a human. You're not even a Spartan.
so Spartans aren't humans.
Technically, no.
They're they're
Okay,
the next evolution.
Spartans aren't
of
humans like Warhammer Marines aren't humans anymore, or something like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it's like Captain America versus a regular soldier. ODST is the regular soldier story.
Spartan is Captain America.
Yeah, and Master Chief is the Captain America.
Yeah,
I
he's
see.
the one where you could just go kill stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does focus a lot more along that. I mean, considering you have one of the Spartans in there, Cat, who's missing an arm, so it's an entire biomechanical arm instead, and each of them have different abilities and everything. And
How old is this game?
this game came out in 2010, And
okay,
so
6 years old. That's respectable age.
Yeah, but it's actually still aged really well. I believe you can cross-play it now. It's one of the backwards compatible titles for the Xbox One.
This is included in the Master Chief Collection, I'm assuming.
No, it is not.
Wow.
It is not.
It didn't make it in.
I have the Master Chief Collection. Master Chief Collection is 1, 2, and I think 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And 4?
Yeah, because 4 was released
right.
on the Xbox 360. But no, Halo Reach did not make it in.
But it is backwards compatible.
It is backwards compatible now, and so basically you can go pick up this game, and it's still one of the higher selling games used if you pick up at a used store compared to the other Halos.
Yeah, it is. It's still like $30 now. Still,
it's still going to be priced competitively.
Yeah, it is going to be priced competitively. I mean, depending on where you go, let's say GameStop for an example. Okay, Halo 4, the last one was basically $5 used. You're going to be spending closer to 20 for Halo Reach.
Wow.
ODSTs like under $5. Halo 3s in the $5 range. That's how well received this one is. People like to go back and play it.
So you could almost think that this is the one kind of revitalized the Halo franchise to some degree.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially story-wise.
And it is good in the story, too.
Yes. So definitely worth checking out, especially if you happen to like the new Doom.
Yeah.
You will start to see some of the influence from this game, this and the Halo 4 that kind of follow into the new Doom.
So you can see some inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see some inspiration of how this series, especially from Reach forward, has really started to change even the classic shooters like the remake of Doom.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, I agree with them.
All right, so you're going to check this one out?
Well, normally I'd be averse just because you say Halo and my brain just goes click and don't really care. But the way that you describe it here, I do have to say that I do enjoy story, and that is something you guys have pushed on me as this game's major strength, is that it has a really good story. I do like a balance where at least I feel engaged, where I'm sort of earning my way into the story, but I'm not enduring or slogging to try and get the next thing. It's a weird balance that games have to strike for me. As it stands, it does kind of sound like there's still this sort of the whole Master Chief rechargeable shield 2-weapon dynamic thing, and it doesn't really vary from that formula. So I would pick it up if it were to have a reduction in price used, or be offered to me, if unlikely as it is, if it were to be offered to me over games with gold.
It has been before.
It has been before. So I would check it out. I wouldn't check it out at the price that it is at now. And I wouldn't have checked it out back when it released.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's been our Odd Man Out for the week. If you like us doing this, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. I lost what?
You lost the plot.
I lost the plot.
Lost the plot.
You got the major thing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you guys next week.
Later. Yeah, I mean, being able to share a keyboard, even something like that, like the old school co-op games where you could actually 2 people more than what it is in some aspects, because
well, that's any good lawsuit.